It's showtime. We are live. Welcome, everybody, to the Academy Sports Show live on a Monday in the D. Welcome. The broadcast has started. We're waiting on everybody to join us live on YouTube, live on Facebook. I'd like to welcome everybody to a great show. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to talk about. It's Monday. It's the Monday after the weekend. So we got to discuss college ball. Once again, Michigan went down this weekend. We'll talk about it. I'm not going to go long about it, but we'll talk about it. Also, big loss in college football. Maybe not, depending on if you feel like it was huge. We talked about it last week.
Yep.
College football, Clemson, Notre Dame. Notice that Notre Dame got the win at home. So we'll see We'll see what you guys think about that, and we'll share our thoughts for that as well. See Kobe jumping in already with his comment, yelling it out loud and proud as Drake covers up his hat. Also, NFL, we're ending week 9 with the garbage bowl tonight. The New England Patriots and the New York Jets. Just what the doctor ordered for Cam, because it's been a tough season for him. So we'll discuss the NFL and where we are mid-season. It's time to give out some mid-season awards. So we have to give some out because that's what we do here on the Academy Sports Show, because we are a sports show. Deuce's Dad 11 says, I'm done with sports. Don't be done with sports, because then you can't join us every week. Let's talk about it. Let's try to help each other through it as we try to get through what is a rough college football season in these parts. However, breaking news, Michigan Wolverines have the #1 recruiting class in basketball before the signing period.
Shocker.
Comes out. So maybe we'll touch on that too. Something to be happy about or look forward to. But anyway, mid-season awards to give out in the NFL. We're going to share with you who we think our MVP is right now, currently where we sit. Also, who is in our NFL top 5. I feel like the top 5 got shook this week. I feel like it got shook.
Most definitely. I got some. There's a repositioning.
It's a reposition. I even have a newbie in my top 5.
Me as well.
So we get to talk about that. So it'll be that and a lot much more. As you know, we always comment on the folks that's talking in the live feed. We appreciate you guys joining us. So chat it up. We'll respond to you. We'll talk about it. We'll share your opinions on the screen. But before we get into that, I need to pass it over to my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend. Y'all know him. Let's see if I point the right way. Yes, sir. Andre Douglas, what's up, baby?
What's up, y'all? Appreciate the comments. As Joel said, keep them coming. And the best thing you can do to help us grow is to share. If you're watching on Facebook now, just share it to your Facebook. Tag your favorite sports friends. Let them know that we in the building. If you're watching via YouTube, share it to any social media you like, man. That's the only way we can grow. If y'all help us grow, if you enjoy the content every week, we try to put on a great show for you guys. The best thing you can do for us is to share. And if you don't know how to listen, if you're listening in podcast land, man, we go live every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube. That's the best way to find us. Make sure you subscribe there on YouTube and trigger that bell. That way you can know when we go live. You get the notification. I got my notification. Did you get your notification?
I got mine.
I got mine. So make sure you trigger that bell to make sure you get those notifications. And our best tool is this comment section, man. The comment section be on fire. Join the crew. Get in the comment section. And if you feeling froggy and if you want to smoke, we can send that link, Doc. We can send you that link. Post your Gmail or your email, whatever, your Yahoo, your Hotmail, whatever you got, post it in the comments, and we will shoot you a link, and you can be a part of the show. And that way you can say what you got to say. But no, it's all recorded, and it will be on wax for the rest of your life.
Yes,
I want you to know that.
We will hold you accountable.
Shout out to the whole state of Cleveland coming out last week. We appreciate you guys.
That is all there is in Ohio. Cleveland.
Make sure you follow us on all our social media platforms, most being Facebook and IG. Once again, share. And we're going to get this thing crack-a-lacking. First topic on the board, college football, like Joe said. There was a lot of shakeups in college football. Some predicted, some not. Now, this week, going into week, we got COVID hitting college football. It's a lot different than the NFL. These are young college athletes, not professional players. So your thoughts on that? But first, do we want to talk about Michigan or no?
I mean, let's just go ahead and get this over with.
Let's get it out the way. Big fat losers this week. Big fat losers. Kobe started off with fire Harbaugh. He was kidding, but I ain't. Fire Harbaugh. Get rid of him.
That's why so you're in there now, huh?
Oh yeah, I'm in there. I'm deep. I'm nestled in. I feel comfortable in this space. Fire Harbaugh. Just clear staff. Just let it go. I know college football isn't really known for firing coaches mid-season, so we're going to have to suffer through this season. You already said top recruiting class. Some of those guys might defect when Harbaugh's not there anymore. So you never know. Joe went out and bought a whole new outfit because of Michigan. Sad. Yes, he has no Michigan gear on today. This is Dad 11. I need therapy. Sports therapy. It's a real thing. We are who they said we are. Kobe said. This is Dad 11 said he's got to go. Yeah, so this is the hot button, the topic. Might as well start off with it. Michigan, man. Listen, bro, you took up a good half an hour last week. Do we need to reserve some more time for you this week?
No, I don't. I don't even have to spend a long time on this. I just remember last week, a couple people, Kobe included, pointed out that I was maybe jumping the gun on firing Harbaugh. And you're right. We don't fire people during the middle of the season. That's not a common thing in college football. So we are living the rest of this year out. But I did say last week they were going to lose this game to Indiana.
You did say that.
I did say they were going to lose, and they lost. And it is bad, people. It is really bad. This is a lack of preparation. This is a lack of connection from coach to player. They don't seem to be playing for Harbaugh. They don't seem to be playing for each other. Nope. There just seems to be a going through the motions. And what makes it worse, what throws salt on the wound, is when you get on television after the game and say, we're this close to making it happen from practice to the game. What football team are you watching? Don't do that. It makes you look out of touch.
Close.
Just say we didn't play well. We'll go back. We'll continue to practice hard, continue to prepare, look forward to the next one, yada, yada, yada. Give me that coach speak. But don't give me we're that close. Now, Kobe pointed out they're young. They are. They're very young, and they look young. And they look like you could almost give them another chance next year. They look like you can give it a COVID spin, right? They didn't have an off season. They look like you would give it 2020. Maybe give Harbaugh another year, right? He's got another year left. Maybe we ride this out. But I'm going to tell you right now, no. All right? I can't do it. Kobe says I'm hurt. You're correct on your points, Jay Will. I can't cut ties, though. Kobe, we went there. We know what to expect. We've seen it in person, Kobe.
You can't cut ties. Nobody's asked you to cut ties with Michigan. But you got to cut ties with Harbaugh, man. You got to jump ship. You jumped off the plane. It's time to pull the parachute. Help yourself.
I just can't do this anymore. But we're going to have to. All right? And you're right. I have not worn my Michigan gear in 2 weeks on this show. It'll come back. It'll come back. It's just not right now. Not right now. I wear my Michigan hat to work out in. I do that. But besides that, not right now. That's all I got to say about it. Bad loss, but expected. I just want to point it out. Expected. I thought we should have competed better. You could argue we kind of did, but then you look at the score, it's lopsided. He threw 2 picks. He's young. He's still trying to find his way. I'm not blaming the kid. Sorry. He's got to go.
Kobe says, does Ward fire him or give him his final year of his contract?
I believe Ward's going to give him his final year of the contract, and they're going to press the reset button.
Okay.
I think we have one more year of this. Who do we even play this week? You guys, Deuces at 11 or Kobe, throw it in the chat. Who do we play this week? I can give you my prediction right now because it might not be good. It's just ridiculous. I just don't know.
I don't know.
Pulling up. Oh, Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Gosh.
Expected loss. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
I don't even know what to say because even Wisconsin's got COVID issues. They haven't played in 2 weeks. I think it is. They're just now under. I think 5 players now left that have COVID. So this will be their first time back on the field. You can argue they're rested, or you can argue they're rusty. I'm gonna go 2020 and argue they're rusty. Michigan gets a win this week.
You still drink the Kool-Aid, even after all that. You're still an optimist. After all that,
I can't change who I am, right? That's me.
After a half an hour rant, opening up the show where he should be fired, you still gonna pick them to win.
Yeah, you got to pick them to win against teams that you think they can win against. I think they can beat Wisconsin.
That's an abusive relationship.
I picked them to lose against Indiana. They lost.
That's an abusive relationship.
Yeah, come on. Wisconsin hasn't been played and can't practice till Friday. They're going to show up on Saturday and win a football game. If they do, reserve me a half hour next week because I'm going to need it.
We're going to start at 6:30 just so you can get it off your chest.
I'm gonna go off. If you lose to a team that hasn't touched a football field in 2 weeks and 5 days, and they show up on a Saturday and beat you,
I'm going to go ahead and clip this, and then I'm going to save it for next week and then attach it to your rant, and it'll be an epic post.
All right.
All right. What about around college football? I heard Clemson lost.
All right.
Does that help does that hurt them too much?
See, so I think you said this last week, and people have pointed this out, and it's been kind of the talk. You haven't really seen it blow up in the media with them losing because everybody gives them the Trevor pass, and everybody still says, hey, you're going to have them you're probably going to play Notre Dame again in the ACC championship, and you'll have Trevor, and that will be the game to decide. So I'm on the page with you. I think they fall to 4. Did they even fall yet? I'm sure the rankings are out. I just haven't looked at them. And let's see, top 25 rankings. So whatever they fell to, my guess would be they'll be fine.
4.
Yeah, they'll be fine come into the year.
Alabama, Notre Dame, Ohio State, Clemson.
Yeah, that's expected. Notre Dame jumps to 2. Alabama's where they usually are with Clemson, Ohio State. So these 4 teams are probably 2020's best. Unfortunately, that means Notre Dame's going to lose in the CFP semifinal because I think if they lose to Clemson in the ACC final and it's a situation where they're 2 and Clemson's still 4, I think you see them swap places.
Yeah.
Because they're going to make sure that they don't rematch.
Seems like the cream of the crop right now. People had an eye on Georgia, but they got smacked by Florida. Now Florida's kind of on the cusp here, trying to make a run for it, trying to hope somebody falls out. But Florida still has LSU at the end of their schedule, so I don't think you'll get 2 SEC teams this year.
Right, I agree.
All right. Any other news? I know we got some COVID tests coming back, and now the Mississippi State game seems it might be postponed, and you said something about the Alabama-LSU game.
Yeah, so right now Alabama-LSU is on the brink of being postponed as well. COVID is hitting college football heavy, and I'm interested to hear from folks that are listening tonight. What do you guys think? Like, I don't know if we're going to make it to, and I'm not predicting anything, but are we going to make it to the CFP? Like, it's like if you look around right now, right, if you believe the media to the level of whatever you believe it's getting bad. In my own sphere, not like anybody I know close, but some people on my job, you're hearing about people just around, people that have people or family that are catching it. And it's not a situation where you're around people catching it like sick people. You're just catching it now. It's kind of like it just seems to be randomly out there.
To run its course.
Yeah. So will they make it? Like Kobe said, hopefully not, because that would be great for Michigan. Like, I don't know. Listen, it don't matter for Michigan. They're out already. But will they make it, though? Like, I don't know. Bama, LSU's in jeopardy. Michigan State's positives for Auburn games, so they're postponed. Texas A&M stopped their activities. They have multiple positives. I don't know.
It's hard to tell college kids to go to practice and then go straight back to the dorm. You know what I'm saying?
Right, which is what they thought was going to happen. Like that was one of the biggest things with the Big Ten complaining about not playing, because they felt like they had all these kids' attention, and the kids understood that they need to stay safe in order to play. Which I don't necessarily know that they're acting out. I think you might just literally have a situation. Again, believe what you want to believe about what the news tells you, but you literally just might have a situation where this thing is out there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, no matter how safe you are, it's out there.
Yeah.
So I just wonder if we're running into a situation where it's going to get halted, and they're going to have to do a shutdown, because the Pac-12 just started, and they're already probably going to miss out on games, and they have no wiggle room anyway.
Yeah.
So
it's like Silver said, it's like we just gotta deal with it. It's part of world culture now.
Right.
You gotta make sure it runs its course and just be as safe as possible. No season we can't lose. That's a way to look at it. Harbaugh gets a new contract. God no. Yeah, I mean, being a Michigan diehard is worse than being a Lions fan. Y'all, this Kool-Aid, y'all graduated from that place, and y'all, the Kool-Aid is tough there. Call a spade, bro. They suck, and just try to move on and get better next season.
I say we move on and get better next season. Let's get out of it. But I don't think don't get honest about still picking them to win a game. Like, I don't want to lose. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
He was about to dig yourself a hole. That you could come out of. Yeah. Or you hoped you
Or I was going to predict something that's going to happen, and then I'm going to be really upset when it does.
Listen, don't do it, man. I've totally detached. Listen, my boy sent me a thing of comedy. My man from Detroit, the comedian, and he did a Lions fans parody. You know, we going to go to the Super Bowl 2020. We gonna go to Super Bowl 2030. He just aging, getting older and older and older, waiting for a Super Bowl till he die. He was like, "That's you." It's like, no, that is not me. Yeah, it is kind of me, but this season it's not me. Ooh, Deuce Dad said this will be a 3-win season. All right, Joe, over under 5 wins for the Michigan Wolverines this year.
Hold on. Over under 5 wins.
5 wins.
What are we, 1 and 2 right now? Oh no, I gotta look at the schedule. All right, let's see. Schedule. All right, over under 5 wins. Oh God, 1 and 2, 4th in the East. Look at that. All right, let's see. Over under 5 wins. We have 1 right now. We need 4 more.
Mm-hmm. 4 more with 5 games left.
Under.
Ooh.
Under. I think they can beat, like I said, I think you can beat Wisconsin because of the rust factor. I think you beat Rutgers. I think you lose to Penn State. I think you lose to Maryland. And I think you lose to Ohio State. You heard me say it. I think you lose
to Maryland?
Yeah, to Tua's little brother. That's right. Maryland. To Tua's little brother.
Wow. About to get beat by Tagovailoa.
So what is that? That's 5. What's that? 4 and 5?
Wow, losing record.
Or 4. That's 4 and 4. I got them at 4 and 4. 2 and 2. 3 and 2.
Yeah, you got them losing 2 games. They already lost.
I got them at 3 and 5.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Nope, I'm not venting, Cedric. You missed my small.
You got them at 3 and 5.
I have them at 3 and 5. I'm not venting. The reason I'm not venting this week is because I picked them to lose this game, and I'm picking them to finish 3 and 5.
All right, everybody. Let me see. Over under 5 wins. Over under 5 wins for the Michigan Wolverines.
Well, Kobe's got under. He's going 4 and 4.
Okay.
I'm going 3-5. And listen, let me tell you why I don't have faith in them beating Maryland. They lost to Michigan State, who just got lambasted, basted, whatever, by Iowa. It was 35-0 from Iowa. It was 35-0 at halftime. They lost to Iowa 49-7. Iowa was 0-2 coming in.
Michigan State won already. Their season is cemented.
The only thing you can hope for now, if you're a Michigan Wolverines fan, is that we are doing a time travel in 2020 back to the early 90s when Michigan would go 8-4 and look like a horrible team, and then somehow beat Ohio State. That's all you're hoping for.
This is that Ohio State will keep their promise of dropping 100 on us.
Yeah, if it were possible, that'd be true.
Every point imaginable.
But
every time you go down the field, score a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But they hung 60 on us last year. They could definitely hang 70 on us this year. Like Kobe said at the beginning of the show, that whole team is young. So that's going to come into play. But young plus bad coaching, plus coaching that doesn't want to adjust, we still just go keep playing man-to-man. We just go still do it. That's cool.
All these kids are basically playing for free. That all get a free year of eligibility, right, to almost positive. The kids playing now get a free year of eligibility? Or just the kids that sat out?
I think it's just the kids that sat out. Because I think that's how they have to keep the balance of kids moving forward and staying. But I don't know. You guys might know better than this. But that's it. Let's come on. We're giving them too much time. They're 1-3. 1-2. I'm sorry.
All right.
Shouldn't give them too much time.
All right. So the headlines right now. Best coaching breakdown: Alabama, Notre Dame. While Georgia, Michigan, and Penn State are struggling.
I read that article. Look it up for us, Kobe.
Power Raging. Ogeron shares COVID update as LSU eyes Bama matchup. Trevor Lawrence doesn't want to talk about his future anymore. Trevor Lawrence is projected to be the number 1 overall pick. If you were Trevor Lawrence, do you just go to the league because it's your time, or do you enter the draft knowing that you might go to the Jets or the Giants?
If you're Trevor Lawrence, you enter the draft and pull an Eli Manning. Like, just come in the draft and say, I don't want to play for y'all. It'll work. Believe me, it'll work.
Okay.
Don't go to the Jets because that's where you're headed. So they all right. Thank you, Kobe. So they don't lose the year of eligibility. Buddha, I will not accept 8 to 9 wins a year. That's not I'm not. Your Notre Dame's winning more than 8 to 9 games a year. You should feel you picked them to lose this game against Clemson. They won. I'm not accepting that. I'll never accept that. Sorry, I can't. I just can't do it. But if I'm Trevor Lawrence, I pull an Eli. Isn't that what Eli did? No.
Yeah, he said he wasn't going to go to the Chargers.
Yeah,
they drafted him anyway, and then they swapped with Phillip Rivers.
There you go.
That whole thing was crazy. I watched the backstory of that because the GM of the Chargers didn't want Phillip Rivers. They wanted Roethlisberger. So when a pick came up, they didn't know who to pick, and they had no conversation with the Giants whatsoever. And off faith, they just picked Rivers.
Wow. So
the Giants picked Rivers, and they like, well, can we switch? Like, she was like, I wasn't gonna call him, but he wasn't gonna call me. But we knew we had each other's pick that we wanted, and finally somebody caved, and they did the flip flop.
Wait, why would you swap if you didn't want Rivers though?
So the Chargers picked Eli, right? Eli didn't want to go there, so the Chargers was up. I think they were the 3rd pick. They wanted Roethlisberger, but they knew that the Chargers didn't want it. The Chargers couldn't keep Eli.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
So Eli was number 1 on their board. Number 2 on their board was Roethlisberger, and then Rivers. So to go after Eli, they just took Rivers.
Gotcha.
So they can trade, as trade bait. So they can trade them in with some picks, and it made it happen.
Nice.
But if they didn't trade them to him, they would just have to stick with Rivers the third guy on their board and just chalk it up as an L, and hopefully he panned out.
Yeah, the athlete has the power. You have the power, man. You don't want to play for them. Don't stay another year in college, though. Like, don't. I'm sorry. Because there's no guarantee that the Jets aren't going to suck again next year. And they'll be sitting right there again. Come out, make your demands known. Or maybe he's a kid that feels like, no, I'm going to turn this franchise around. Maybe he's a kid that feels like he can go there. We can have our opinions about the Jets ourselves, but maybe he feels like he's the one that could come in. I mean, technically speaking, you could argue who doesn't want to be in a position where you're the guy right now.
Right.
You know, maybe he wants that. Maybe he wants to embrace it. Maybe he's that kind of guy. I would come back this year and play because if it were me, I'm in college. These are my brothers. These are my teammates. I want to make it happen. I think that decision's different for kids that are in it versus those of us who sit on the outside and watch it. And then go ahead and do your thing, man. You're going to be great in the NFL. Go do your thing.
Or maybe the Jets are just so messed up that they skip on them and they want to keep Sam Darnold.
Yeah, you never know. Or maybe somebody trades up, right? Maybe somebody offers the Jets something on draft day and they come up and get Trevor Lawrence and the Jets leverage the pick. Because, I mean, I haven't yet necessarily saw the Jets as a team that doesn't necessarily like Sam Darnold.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, that's what I mean. Like maybe
don't put a team around him too. Your whole team sucks.
Whole team sucks.
Yeah, like
half the defense opted out this year.
Right.
They didn't have no offensive weapons. Le'Veon Bell was hurt and ineffective. So, no.
It just seems like there's a culture issue there too, but we'll see.
All right, we put up on college football. If you got anything else to say, put it down in the chat. And then we're going to talk about Buddha, is it? Buddha? We're going to talk about his Seahawks.
Lawrence Perry.
We're going to talk about his Seahawks.
Yeah.
Go Hawks.
Yes, NFL time, folks.
Go Hawks. Man, did you see that game?
Oh, man.
No, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm not.
Well, all I could think about was our top five as I was watching football this weekend. Like,
Yep. Somebody fell out. All right, so we're doing mid-season reviews, mid-season awards. It's half of the football season, a season that we didn't think was going to happen. We're already halfway through. Had some great games. We got some guys headed in the MVP race. So we're going to do MVP, most disappointing team, most disappointing player, team likely to trend up, and team likely to trend down. So let's start with the MVP race, man. I think it's kind of open-ended for a lot of people on this one. MVP race, who's your top guys in that right now halfway through the season?
So I feel like this is a two-man race. I don't think that there's anybody else in this race that we're going to be debating about coming into the year. And to me, it's a Mahomes versus Russell race. And I think right now, even barring the bad game, I would give it to Russell. I think he's the fan favorite too. Like he's the good story favorite for most people because he's never gotten it and he's never gotten a vote for it, which is kind of annoying to a lot of people. So he had a crappy game this week.
Yes,
they had a crappy game this week. However, overall, if I were giving the award out today, because nobody says that MVPs have to be perfect, I would give it to Russell. He would edge out Pat right now. I am giving the benefit to Russell because he's never won it before a little bit. So I am kind of being that guy in a sense.
There you go.
Because you get used to what Mahomes does, and it becomes hard to keep giving him the same award.
He's getting a LeBron effect already after one MVP.
So I don't know. I don't know if he'll win back to back. I think if Seattle still if they bounce back and continue to play well and win the NFC East and make a run in the playoffs, he'll probably be that guy. But mid-season, I think it's a two-horse race, and I'm going with Russell right now.
All right. So Pat is thrown for 2,600 yards and 25 touchdowns. Russell's at 2,500 yards and 28 touchdowns. So really
How many
close.
picks for Russell?
Huh?
How many picks for Russell?
Russell has 8.
Oh, 5 before Sunday.
I think he was pressing a lot this week. So that he knows it's all on the offense. They had no running game. Chris Carson out. I feel like he was pressing a lot. And the Buffalo Bills are a good defensive team. So, those games are bound to happen. So I'm not going to pile on them too much. But the MVP race, it's pretty much Patrick Mahomes and Dangerous Wilson. I also want to throw in Aaron Rodgers, but we got to see how his team performs. Another guy I want to throw in is Derrick Henry. The leading leaguer in rush did it. It looked like he's going to do it 2 years in a row. That Tennessee team wouldn't be much without him. He has a distant shot. A lot of the running backs who won MVP, scored 1 million touchdowns, i.e., Sean Alexander and LaDainian Tomlinson. You got to damn near get 30 plus touchdowns rushing just to get in the conversation. So I don't think he's trending that way. But just another I got to sprinkle in. But I'm with you. Those guys are the top 2 competitors. I think A-Rock is sneaking there if he starts throwing up some gaudier touchdown numbers. But it'll probably be hard for him seeing, they like to run the football more there.
So who you picking?
I'm right now. Number 1 is Russell.
Okay.
But to me, it's like a 1A, 1B kind of thing. I don't think Pat Mahomes is too far back. Win-loss records probably the same now. And then touchdowns, interceptions, yards pass. It's kind of mirroring each other. Russell brought himself back down in this conversation, and Pat Mahomes has just been steady.
So let's hear from everybody in the chat. If you're listening right now, we're talking midseason NFL awards. We're talking MVP race. Both Dre and I picked Russ. Who are your top guys right now in the MVP race? And who would you pick right now if you had to make a decision?
Give them the trophy. But Seattle's got to play better. I mean, the way they're going, Kansas City's going to have the better win-loss record, and that's going to be better for Patrick Mahomes. But Russell's got to keep pace in that NFC because it was very top-heavy last year, and you think it's going to be top-heavy again this year. A lot of 10, 11-win teams. I think it was like, 3 12-win teams last year. It was a lot of good records. So he's got to keep pace with Kansas City win-loss record-wise. That way it don't look – you got to make it look good too, Russell. We can't just give it to you. You got to make it look good.
Yeah, I think they have a good chance of winning the West. I mean, you got the 3 teams out there, right? You're going to talk – you got Arizona, who seems legit. I don't know if they're legitimately ready to win the division. They're definitely not a pushover anymore. The Rams are the most inconsistent football team right now in the NFL. And then you got Russ. The 49ers, they're just an infirmary unit. So they've got a good chance of winning their division, which will bode well for them. They'll probably win 12 games, which will bode well for them. So I think they'll keep pace. He definitely laid an egg this week. I think if he just keeps doing what he's doing, even in that game where he was really pushing the envelope, he'll continue to kind of put up the gaudy numbers. And if they keep winning the way they're winning, when they were winning, then I think you have yourself an MVP award. But when we talk top 5, I think that'll be different, but we'll wait on that. Coming.
Yeah. All right,
I want to especially hear from the Cedrics and the Lawrences, who definitely were on the Seahawks bandwagon last week. So we'll see.
Awkwardly silent. All right, let's move on. Most disappointing team. Who did you have as your most disappointing team?
The Rams.
The
Rams are the most disappointing team. This team is 2 years removed from a Super Bowl berth. And they are so inconsistent. Like 1 week, the offense looks great. Their defense can stop somebody. The next week, the offense looks horrible. And then the defense is pressured into stopping somebody, which that's not what they're built to do. So it's like they definitely rely on their offense being productive. And we all know the story, right? It seems like McVay runs the same 10 plays.
Same 10 plays, bro.
They're just all like different motions and different variations of one another designed to all look the same. At the end of the day, 1 week they're good, the next week they're not. And I think it's just sad to see. So most disappointing to me, I think about Disappointing in the fact of this is who I expected to do something, and now they're not doing something, which is disappointing. And to me, it was the Rams. I expected the Rams to compete for the division, and they just don't look consistent enough to me.
Yeah, you would hope that they had a little more fire, a little more vigor, getting rid of Todd Gurley and dumping all that cap. You think they would have a little more flexibility, but these young backs, these young backs have not stepped up. Deuce is dead 11. He commented, said Russell on the last pick. Cedric said, I agree with you, even though he had a bad game. He's still up there. Plus, he can't win by himself. Deuce is dead 11 said Lions always, LOL. Cedric said, I'm not being silent. Okay, I hear you, brother. All caps. I got you.
The Lions are disappointing, though. Y'all just lost. This is normal.
Just the hate is real.
It's just,
the most disappointing team, I had the Lions as well.
really?
Detroit Lions. I can't stand these mother. I can't. I try not to be, but come on, man. Y'all had somewhat expectations this year. The coach said he was going to be better. The Lions, you feel like this would be a move in the right direction. You knew Cousins couldn't keep that up. The other team's quarterback is Mitchell Trubisky starting off, so you knew you had some openings there. You knew Green Bay was going to be Green Bay. We got an extra playoff spot this year. Come on, man. It's an extra playoff spot. Let's go get it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go get this extra playoff spot. But no, like that was a horrible loss. Minnesota, not a great team, and they ran it down your freaking throats. Matthew Stafford threw back-to-back interceptions on back-to-back drives. He looked like hot garbage, and he decided, he was like, you know what? I got a concussion. I'm not going back in here. I wouldn't go back in that either. And then you got this overpaid backup that came in here. You only paid him so much because he torched you 7 years ago when he came into a game and absolutely obliterated you. So you paid homage to him and made him the highest paid backup quarterback in human history. And he got in and got obliterated. Dalvin Cook ran through you like a wet paper towel. And then you had the audacity to only play 10 men on defense, like a JV team. So they suck, bro. They absolutely suck. You're supposed to have a top 5 quarterback. Everybody's predicting this breakout year for Matt Stafford. He underperformed. Shocker. The Detroit Lions underperformed. Shocker. The coach underperforms. Another shocker. And it's just, we should have drafted Tua. James said it. We should have drafted Tua. This is that 11. Should have drafted Tua or Herbert.
But I have a question, though. How are you disappointed in something you knew was going to be?
I didn't know this. Okay. This is not the man that started the season. This is what they did to me. They jaded me as the season go down. Okay. When I started the season, I was hopeful. I had lots of hope. I thought, extra playoff spot, we can get in there. I just told you my rationale. The Vikings are going to be sucky. The Bears are going to be sucky. We can slip on in there. Come on now. Come on here. Do I have a witness today? 8-8, 9-7. We could do something. We could get up in there. Supposed to have this top 10 quarterback, Matthew Stafford. Oh, yeah, dig it. Let's go. Draft you a running back. Oh, now Kerryon Johnson got some help. Here comes Butterfingers DeAndre Swift. We got a top 10 receiver, Kenny Galladay. Let's go, Kenny. Hurt. Marvin Jones Jr. Waste of money. TJ White Hushmanzada. There for no reason. Horrible defense.
But okay. Let me just say this. This is why I love you guys. I love you guys. I love Detroit fans.
You are the same. No, don't do. Browns fans are the same.
No, what?
Browns fans are the same.
No,
y'all have hope. Y'all have hope.
No, you guys have a different type of hope.
You draft a quarterback every year, and y'all have hope.
Yeah, but our hope. Listen, this is the thing. Our hope is gone at the end of the preseason. Like when the season starts, we usually can tell. What you guys do every year, though, is you guys raise your level of expectation up very, very high.
Bro, you were crushed last year when y'all sucked.
I wasn't crushed.
You were crushed. You thought y'all was gonna be good. You
I
was
wasn't
wrong,
crushed.
and you were disappointed.
I wasn't good. That was a year. But here's the thing. This is what I'm saying to you. This is the difference. When you looked on paper last year, my team looked good. When you guys look on paper every year, the Lions are bad. On paper, every year. And then you have hope still. Then you come into the season, and when you guys get upset, you get upset to a level to where you could tell y'all actually believe that something different was going to happen. Browns fans don't do that. I got mad because my team was loaded and we sucked. That's different. You guys get mad at the same type of team every year. The team sucks on paper every year. Like coming into the season, you know they're not going to be good, but y'all are great. Shout out to Detroit Lions fans. You guys are the best.
You just like throwing shade. I can't take your opinion. First of all, we were supposed to be good.
When? Are you saying that this year you were supposed to be a good football?
We were supposed to be good this year,
Who
bro.
said that?
Everybody said it. We should have got to it. Doggone it.
You should have, but still, who said you were going to be good?
He was going to be good. Does that boy even play? Who did we draft? The corner?
Yeah, he plays. You just don't hear his name a lot.
Does he even play for us? Is he redshirting? Is he on the IR? Did he opt out due to COVID? Who is this man? Did we draft anybody at number 2? Does he exist? He opted out. That's what happened.
No,
he opted out.
Your corner he's still here.
Jeff O, who are you? Jeff O, where is he?
Deuces at 11 said he gets burnt every play.
Dude, he's hot garbage. Flaming garbage.
He said it's nothing wrong with believing.
It ain't nothing wrong with
That's right, B. Believe land. Cleveland. That's right. Believe, baby.
Bro, biggest disappointing team, the Detroit Lions.
All right. Where are we going next?
All right. Next up, most disappointing player.
I hate to do this to my guy, but I got to do it. Cam. Oh, Cam.
I thought you was about to say somebody else.
Cam. Oh, Cam.
Baker. I thought you was going Baker on that one.
No, I wasn't going Baker on that. I'm going Cam. Cam's been more disappointing to me. I had such high hopes for Cam this year. I really hoped that it would be okay. I really hope that he would take this team to a competitive level. I didn't know if they were going to win the division. I know half their defense did opt out. But still, Cam, you fumbled that dang on football last week. I'm hoping you make it up tonight and beat the Jets, please. Don't lose to the 0-8 Jets, Cam, please. But it's Cam Newton for me.
It's Cam Newton for me. I went Carson Wentz. Eagles were expected to win this division. Horrible division. Huh?
I think the Carson Wentz ship has sailed. That ship is sailing out of the port, and like everybody says, the Baker Mayfield ship is tied to the pier about to be. They want to release the rope.
Yeah, like the turnovers, bro. Like this was a guy a couple years ago before he got injured, was in the MVP race. This was a guy who was touted as a small-time school quarterback coming to the league by storm, and now he's just a guy that gives the other team the ball multiple times a game. Like he's bad, and they won games by the skin of their teeth, But he's actually regressing. You got a quarterback whisperer for a head coach, so there's not the issue. You had a great backup that you could learn from, and Nick Foles. That wasn't the issue. Then you get rid of Nick Foles. Now it's your team, and now you still sucking it up.
Yep, still an issue.
So this is a guy, man. I think after this season, Philly's gonna chew him up and spit him out. Yeah, they paid him all that money, and now you get nothing in return.
Yeah, I agree. Cedric says he agrees with me on the Cam comment. He was really hoping he would be the one to shut up all the haters. That was my hope for Cam too. Go up there, play in a good system, shut everybody up, get a little contract, help you survive in the league a few more years. But it's just not looking good.
All right. Team most likely to trend up. So this is a team maybe middle of the pack or maybe just a good team. And you see them excelling through the second half of the season.
Yeah, there are two teams that I'm a little worried about right now in the AFC because they might steal my last playoff spot that I'm hoping the Browns get. But I'm going to pick one out of these. It was two teams that first came to mind. I'm going to go with, I think, the new hot and sexy right now, which is the hype train is just building. And that's the team in Miami. I mean, they're supposed to be bad. I mean, they're supposed to kind of be bad again, continuing to kind of build towards more draft picks and kind of building that system and that program. But you got to give them credit. Playing well right now, beat a couple good teams, or they beat a couple teams that most people expected them to lose.
Mm-hmm.
Tua's not blowing it up, but he's definitely making some wild plays, but he's also making some throws that you need him to make. So I think that they're a team that's trending up right now. I also had the Raiders on my mind. The Raiders seem like if they put together two good wins in a row, they beat the Browns and they won yesterday. They seem like they're putting it together a little bit. You just have to wonder, do they hurt themselves in the long run just because they tend to make mistakes or lose games they shouldn't lose. But it's time for Carr to ascend and become another good quarterback in this league. So I'm going to go with Miami probably as a 1, and then the Raiders are kind of like that other team that I see kind of trending up right now. Cedric said the Lions. That was a good one. That was actually a pretty good one.
I got you. It's all good. So as a professional, I'm taught to handle trolls. So I'm just gonna handle that and just move forward.
Good job.
With a smile on my
face. It comes with the business, right? That's how it is.
So team most likely to trend up. I did have the Raiders as well. So I looked at these team schedules, and Raiders pretty much got a cupcake schedule moving forward. So for them to compete in that AFC West, I feel like, they'll be all right. They got some nice weapons. That was a nail biter of a win against the Chargers this week. I mean, just coming down to the last play and the last second in the review just to get the dub. But I think they got a great running game when they block for him. David Carr, like you said, is maturation, and just hopefully they can move forward. And I think they'll definitely trend up. That'll be a team to look for. And the team that's already good right now, I picked Green Bay. Like, Green Bay's schedule is, it's kind of the same thing as the Steelers' schedule. Like, it's cupcakes. Like they can actually, get one loss out of these next, 7-8 weeks or so.
Right.
They got a really easy schedule. So I don't see them losing too much ground, but we've seen them stumble this year. So hopefully they can get it together because their schedule predicates that they can run off a couple wins in a row here.
Ooh, they got Jacksonville. They got Indianapolis in top 5 defense. Then you got Chicago, Philly. Oh, you get Chicago at home though. You have Philly, the Lions. Carolina. Yeah, you're right. They got. Yeah, you're right.
So I they might be able to get somebody.
Did you know the Lions have led in every single game this year? They score first in every single game. That's crazy. That was a stat I wanted to bring up on the show.
We just throwing out random stats.
Yeah, I forgot to bring that up.
We're not even talking about them no more. Like,
okay. All right.
Like,
I kind of owe you guys for like how you've done me in the past with the Browns. Like I've got some payback, so I'm just getting it in.
Bro, you take more shots than me ever. If we rewind every single episode, it's like 1,000,000 to 1. You take more shots at the Lions than I've ever took at the Browns.
That's true. That's true. That's true. I'm making just
get back where you're kidding. I don't understand.
I know. I'm making this Stat 11 mad. Look at this. Look at the emojis on this Stat 11.
Bro, you just be shooting, bro. You be shooting. Extendo clip.
My bad. Okay. Trending down.
Teams trending down.
I brought this up earlier, so I knew because I was kind of a segue to it. But the Rams are the team trending down for me. Like it just frustrates me. I don't know if it frustrates me more because I have a couple of them on my fantasy team, and my fantasy team just sucks this year. But I also like watching them. I
didn't say nothing this week. You appreciate that? Did you appreciate?
Talk your talk.
I didn't say nothing.
I'll say it. You killed me.
I didn't say nothing this week.
I need the running back from the Patriots to have a 60 boy tonight. And I don't even know who the running back from the Patriots is. But yeah, I think that the Rams, I like watching them when they're good. And so they're like I said, disappointing and trending down. Like I see them falling out of the West. I think the new number 2 in the NFC West is the Arizona Cardinals. I think they're for real. And listen, Kyler Murray, you can tackle that guy in a phone booth, and that's real. He's fast. Yeah.
So that's funny because the team trending down I got is the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, you think so?
Because they're losing games they should win. Like,
True.
the team is hella talented. You can tell, like, they're that cusp team.
Yep.
They fight hard. They're in every game, but they find a way to lose. So they should have more wins, at least 2 more wins like that.
Right.
That Miami loss was bad, and there was another loss that they had that they could have won. I think it was did they play Cleveland? It was one of those games that they should have won that game. But I think they're just young. They'll figure it out. But I feel like they're still a year away. They're going to lose games. I think they play Seattle coming up next. You know, Russell versus Kyler part 2. So I look forward to Russell getting his revenge on that one. And their schedule doesn't sit well with big wins there. They're going to have to fight every time.
Ooh, man. So this is not a troll move, but they did take some bad losses. They lost to the Lions. Okay, that wasn't trolling, just talking about bad losses. They should have beat them. They lost to Carolina. Carolina plays you tough, but you should beat them. And then they just lost to Miami. And they've got Buffalo, Seattle, New England, the Rams, Giants, Philly, San Francisco, Rams. Yeah, they could trend down, but they could pull off a couple of those games too.
That could be an 8-8.
Yeah,
unfortunately,
maybe 8-8, 9 8-8, 9-7, 10-6. Yep. All right, cool.
All right.
So the moment
top 5 list, NFL top 5 list. Everybody, put your top 5s in the chat. Top 5 NFL teams right now. Whatever your criteria is, I want to hear them. We got some homers. So they put whoever they want in their top 5 list. We got some guys who don't put stats in account. They put, whoever they want in their top 5 list. And then me, the logical one, I do my top 5 list on the eye test on how I see people week to week. So I don't know who you are. I know who I am. So top 5 list.
Welcome, Sippy Sports Show. First time listener. Appreciate you joining us. Put your top 5 NFL power rankings, top 5. Put it in the chat, right?
Put it in the chat. Put it in the chat.
We want to see. I eye test, by the way. I use the eye test, by the way, just to point that out.
Top 5. NFL power rankings. All right, so you want to just do the 5 or you want to go back and forth?
How do we do it? I think last week we went.
I think we just did the 5. No, we went back and forth.
All right, let's go back and forth.
All right, I'll go first.
Build up.
Number 5, entering my top 5 for the first time this week.
Okay.
The Baltimore Ravens. I've tried, we started this, I think, the week before the bye week. Then there was the bye week. And then they didn't really impress the last week. So now the Ravens have made my top 5 list. Good showing. They're going back to running the football with Lamar Jackson. That's how you're going to win your football games. I understand you want him to be a passer. I understand you want him to be an NFL quarterback. I understand you're trying to groom him for the playoffs. But you got to do what you got to do to win these football games, and that's run Lamar Jackson. running, and then get a lead and then keep the lead. Anytime they go down, the MO on the Baltimore Ravens is let them get down and they can't come back.
Right.
So go score you some touchdowns with Lamar Jackson and then work a rhythm, throw the football. But first, let that brother run the football. So at number 5, I got the Baltimore Ravens.
The Baltimore Ravens are not in my top 5.
You fell out?
Yeah, because even with that win, they fell out for me because they're not they're not that. Like they're that is their formula, right? But right now, they just look sloppy to me. Like they don't look like they have it together as a team. Like to me, it seems like the scheme known as the defensive coordinator, give me a year and I'll catch up.
Yeah.
It seems like defensive coordinators are catching up. And while, yes, they won this game, they pulled it out, Indianapolis had their number. And, I mean, you just can't count on Indianapolis holding the lead, and it's not because of their defense, because Phillip Rivers is always going to throw you back into a football
Isn't that meme of him sitting on the ground?
Dude, when he tripped over himself, and then he tried to tackle my man. Hilarious, bro. So, yeah, I don't have them in my top 5. My number 5 this week is Tennessee. And the eye test for me tells me with Tennessee that while you took a tough one, their team is built. And this was kind of, to me, this was their Chicago was the tough game. They got the win. They had lost to to Cincinnati. That was their that L, that bad L. But of course, we know you got a hot rookie quarterback. The Pittsburgh loss, that was a battle. They just showed the come on, man. Phillip Rivers. He made come on, man. Oh man. I thought the bad loss was Cincinnati because I just think you should still beat Cincinnati, even though they got a great young quarterback. And the Pittsburgh game to me was a battle. That was a slugfest. So to get a win versus Chicago, that's a tough defense. Even though I'm not sold on Chicago, but I mean, they hang tough with people. I'm giving Tennessee a little bit of an edge this week and bringing them back into my top 5. And they're going to be one of those scary teams as the year goes along.
Yeah, Tennessee's been in my top 5 consistently. I think they've been in consistently, but even after that win, I don't put too much clout on Chicago. I feel like the Ravens are trying to get their mojo back and got back to their bread and butter. Tennessee, they just need to get back to their bread. Give Derrick Henry the ball 35 times. Like Tannehill is not the guy. Like they're trying to make Corey Davis and all these. Well, not him because he didn't catch a ball. What's the other one? Brown. They're trying to make AJ Brown like this great receiver and Jonnu Smith. Like just give Derrick Henry the ball and go play defense. That's pretty much how it's supposed to be. So maybe they can make it back, but the teams they've beat have been easy. The teams they've lost to have gave them a challenge. So I look forward to them beating a good team.
I agree with you there.
All right, number 4.
Got a couple of comments. James said KC, Pittsburgh, Green Bay, Bills, Ravens. All right. Lawrence says Chiefs, Steelers, Green Bay, Seattle, Saints.
He wanted to put Seattle so much higher. He tried to be diplomatic there. He tried his hardest.
Or did he try to sneak him in?
He tried his hardest.
I apologize. My daughter is harassing me about money. So
all right, well, then I'll start then. Number 4. At number 4, I got the Buffalo Bills. Shout out to the Buffalo Bill gang, man. They had an epic win against Seattle. That was a great game for them. Great confidence booster to prove to them that they belong here. I had Buffalo at number 5 last week after beating New England. They proved me right. Beating Seattle this week, so I had to give them a boost to go from number 5 to number 4. I mean, the quarterback there, man, geez, always he had a game. Seattle is a wet paper bag on defense, so he tore them to shreds. Shout out to him. Shout out to Buffalo Bills staff. They had a great game plan. The defense had a great game plan on Russell Wilson. And shout out to the Buffalo Bills, man. They're being hella consistent right now, and the sky's the limit for them.
Yeah, I have no quarrels with that. very big time. He said, definitely. I wonder if that's definitely you try to sneak them in or definitely. No quarrels with that, though. I think Buffalo Bills deserve to be in the top 5. My number 4 is the Green Bay Packers. I have them back in the top 5. Green Bay and Tennessee been in and out for me. Green Bay was on the bye last week. Bye week got them back right. Feels like you could tell they were a little healthier. Aaron Jones returns to the lineup, scores a quick 12 on fantasy on my bench, and I could have used that 12 points. But I didn't trust it.
Don't make it seem like it was that close.
It wasn't. I didn't trust it, though, because of he was just coming back, and I heard they were going to use him for emergency purposes only. However, still at the same time, that team's Green Bay's a good team. I think they'll make a run in the playoffs. The issue with Green Bay is still going to be their defense. Is can they stop anybody? We know what the offense is going to look like. If Devontae's healthy and Aaron Jones is healthy, and then you have the Valdez Scantlings of the world, he'll make any tight end. Yes, he's taking shots. He'll make any tight end look good. He'll make any second and third. Yes, receiver look good. So I think that's pretty cool that he can do that, but it'll just be defense. Can their defense stop somebody in the playoffs when it counts? That's going to be tough.
Yeah, you did. You ain't got to explain it. We know. You was wrong. All right, so at number 3, I got Green Bay at number 3, so I got my spot higher than you. I put Green Bay at number 3. Great Thursday night win. The one thing that I hope, they're continue to win, so a great bounce back from that Minnesota loss, like you said after the bye. But I want more out of Green Bay's offense, and this is what I'm saying. When you get to playoff time, they're going to try to take away Devontae Adams. Like they're going to bracket him, they're going to double him, they're going to put a safety high on him. This was the moment for another guy to emerge. This was a room for Valdez Scantlin, the tight end, somebody to emerge as a great number 2 option. And then during that whole time, nobody really emerged as the next guy. So they need to find another guy because they let Devontae go off now because it's just a regular season. But when playoffs start, it's a whole different ball game, and he's going to be schemed against. Your running game has not been consistent due to the injuries of Aaron Jones and the young Dylan, who didn't get a chance to play because of COVID and things like that. This offense needs help. So I look for them these next couple weeks while they got these opponents to try to get reps in for those guys and become a more cohesive unit. They missed Lazard a lot. He was the
next guy.
Yeah, he was the guy that was going to emerge as the number 2 guy there. So another guy's got to really step up. But I still got him at number 3 due to a good showing on Thursday night.
My number 3. So we're on the same page here. We just flip-flopped. My number 3 coming in at number 3 for the first time this season.
That's pretty high.
The Buffalo Bills.
Wow, look at you.
The Buffalo Bills. And here's why I have them ahead of Green Bay. Because to me, Buffalo has won every type of game this year. They've been close. They've been down. They've come back and won. They've been in close battles and won. They've won. They've blown people out. And they have beat legit teams, not just at home, but on the road. So they've gone across country and won. They've played the teams coming cross country and beaten them. So they played the tough division. They played the NFC West this year, and they've got dubs this year. So I am, I guess, pleasantly surprised because I was kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop with that team.
Yep.
When they started out the season, Jets, Miami, Rams, they won all 3 of those. The Rams one, you had the call that would argue the pass interference. But then they went to Las Vegas and won. Lost to Tennessee, lost to KC. So that shows you, okay, are we ready for the top teams in the AFC? Maybe, maybe not. But then to come back, Jets, New England had them on the ropes. And then that Seattle win was the win that, to me, put them into my top 5. So kind of beating Seattle. It wasn't a hoax. It wasn't a fluke. Even the Russ throwing the 4 or 3 picks, that wasn't just, you get Russ had a bad game, that's why they won. No, They had Russ running too, scrambling. The only question about them is playoffs, running game. That quarterback seems to make a lot of plays, but he takes a lot of risks. So can they win like that in the playoffs? Can Allen lead them? Can he carry the team on the shoulder, or do they need a running game? I feel like they need a running game as you start to buckle down into the playoffs, but we will see. But right now, they're sitting at 7-2. I think they have like a 2 or 3 game lead in the East, so they're probably going to win that division. Yep. They've got Arizona coming up. Then they go bye week. Then they go Chargers, 49ers, and then a huge matchup on NBC December 13th at home versus the Steelers.
Yeah, not an easy schedule. A lot of, they can get tripped up on a couple of those teams. Chargers, they're no slouch. They're not, Justin Herbert out here slinging that thing.
Right.
So a lot of, teams that you thought they would beat, like you said, it'll be a good test. It'll be a good test. Let them know if they're real or not. Beat the teams you're supposed to beat and compete against the teams that are good in your conference. So we'll be keeping an eye on the Buffalo Bills. I'm glad they made your list and they were so high.
Yeah. Cedric said he agrees that the Seahawks defense is pushing water through a screen door right now. My dad just joined the show. Says Jim Harbaugh has got to go. All right, welcome to the show, Dad. Yep. And Mama V just pointed that out. My mom pointed that out that we already said that. All right, but as always, we appreciate you listening. Thanks for jumping in there and putting your 2 cents in. All right, my number 2. There has been a shakeup in my top 5. My number 2 this week, because I got to finally give credit where credit is due. My number 2 comes in with the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh, the drop.
The Kansas City Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs come in this week for me at number 2. Number 2 team in the league right now for me. And what made me drop them, even though they're 8-1, what made me drop them is their need to slack a little bit. So I feel like, for example, this Carolina game wasn't crispy. Carolina battled them. It wasn't crispy. Okay. Excuse me. Edwards-Helaire, 14 yards rushing. That was their highest rushing total. Their top rusher in this game was Clyde Edwards-Helaire with 14 yards. Kelsey had 159. Pat definitely saved him, threw for 372.
Cheetah.
But at the end of the day, they battled Carolina, and I feel like for them to stay up on that perch, I needed them to do what they're supposed to do against Carolina, which was let them maybe play you tough in the first half, and then you just run away with it. This game was close, 33-31. They barely escaped with a win at home.
All right, well, my number 2 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Look who flip-flopped here. Look what kind of show we have here.
What in the world?
Look what kind of show we have here. I put Pittsburgh at number 2 because they were supposed to smash the Cowboys. Absolutely obliterate the Cowboys. Absolutely dismantle, disfigure, dismember the Cowboys. And they did none of those things. They did none of those. The Cowboys stuck in that game. Well, they were stuck in the game, but the score looks nice, and it wasn't supposed to look nice. So Pittsburgh, they took their foot off the gas, didn't do what they were supposed to do. The Kansas City Chiefs have one fatal flaw. The fatal flaw is they don't run the ball when they're supposed to. They rely on Patrick Mahomes way too much. But they won. They beat a good football team. They beat a returning Christian McCaffrey who went nuts on them. It's hard to prepare for a guy like Christian McCaffrey. And then that raised the game of everybody else that played for the Carolina Panthers. It proved to me that Kansas City can win a game, a close game, and still be the Kansas City Chiefs. So they won close, yes, but they still won. against a good opponent that was game. The Pittsburgh Steelers won close against arguably the worst team in the NFL. When you got to pick between undrafted free agent quarterback who been on a practice squad all his life versus undrafted free agent quarterback who's on a practice squad last year all his life, the play starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys and Ben DiNucci, you should have crushed this team. You should have crushed this team. So I dropped the Steelers down all on the humble because they did not perform the way they're supposed to perform. I mean, that tip catch for Juju Smith-Schuster, that shouldn't even happen. Like, this game was just sloppy. We was expecting more of a blowout in this game. Assert your dominance. You're the only undefeated team in the NFL. Assert your dominance. You can run. You can throw. You have great defense. But yet, you let a undrafted free agent rookie career backup keep it close against y'all. So I put them at number 2.
Wow. And you know what? I could have taken that perspective and ran with that this week too and been like, I told you the Steelers are the number 2 team, but I didn't do it. I'm surprised. Wow.
James says Steelers should have lost that game.
That's true. You're right. But wow. We switched. Okay.
We switched.
Well, then you know who my number 1 is. No drum roll needed. But my number 1 is the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I was getting ready to join you on the KC trade this week. I was like, I can't do it. I'm gonna go ahead and join Joe this week.
Nope. And it's funny because I gave the Pittsburgh Steelers a bump for the same reason, but with a little twist on it. So your reasoning is looking at it as you're supposed to beat this team. Boom, boom, boom. You come in, you play them close, and you gave KC the credit for beating the team who was game. I gave Pittsburgh credit for playing a team who was game because this game had everything written on it that the Steelers are supposed to blow them out, and it's still the NFL. And I felt like when it all came down to it, it ended up being a game that you didn't find yourself being in this position, but y'all still pulled it out like a team that is supposed to be the best team in the NFL right now is supposed to do.
They didn't fall victim to the trap game.
They didn't, yeah. So I gave them the bump for winning the trap game before you play Cincinnati next week because everybody's going to talk about
that's a trap game.
Whole, rookie quarterback,
yeah,
all that crap. And they've got this easy schedule. They got Cincinnati, Jacksonville, then they get Baltimore. On national television, then you go Washington, and you got Buffalo. So they've got some bumps coming up. We're going to find out, again, are they the best? But I gave them credit for winning this game, thinking that, yes, they were supposed to blow them out, but Dallas played you tough. They played you close, and you're possibly a call or 2 away from it going a different direction, which then we would have crapped on them for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, I kind of gave them credit for squeaking out another win in a tough building against a team who I felt like was game to try to pitch an upset.
Yeah. I mean, they were getting creamed because they kept saying, they had an easy schedule. It's an easy schedule for the Steelers. They don't deserve to be number 1 and all this stuff. And then you get the cupcake served up to you and you don't destroy it. So that was frustrating. Like, even if you get an easy schedule, you're still supposed to do what you're supposed to do. Murderize these guys. And keep your dominance. Now you show that, you're beatable. So now teams are going to be extra game. If I'm Joe Burrow, I'm licking at the chops now. But, the Steelers are a bounce-back team. Mike Tomlin should coach these guys up and have them foaming at the mouth by the next time they strap up.
That's fair.
I felt some type of way because where is it at? Because James had my list right before I said it. So I was like, look at James. You got my whole list. He said KC pick, Green Bay, Bills, Ravens. Took my list. Verbatim.
So you heard it. Dre's top 5. Ravens at 5, Bills at 4, Green Bay at 3, Pittsburgh at 2, Kansas City at 1. He flips-flops Kansas City at Pittsburgh. If you've been following us and listening to us every week, we've had some minor disagreements on the positioning. And as you heard his segue into this segment of the show, he pointed out and questioned me on how I judged my top five. But he agrees with my top five this week, interestingly enough, because he can see my point of view. And he also has the team that I've had at number one all year at number one.
I saw growth in you this week. Yeah, Buffalo at number 3. I was the only one that had Buffalo. There was growth. You were coddling Green Bay for so long. You were coddling them for so long. And then you didn't take no shots at Tampa Bay this week. I was like, oh, man, look at you. Look at
I could. I really wanted to remind you about your NFC champion future.
But I just complimented you on growth. I
appreciate it, but it still deserves to be reminded. They got blasted last night.
James has a question.
Top five?
Tyler, what's your thoughts on that game?
Tua versus Kyler. I'll give you my thoughts. Kobe also wanted to hear our top five. I said your top five. My top five is Tennessee, Green Bay, Buffalo, KC, and Pittsburgh. So Kobe wanted us to rattle them off real quick just to remind. Kobe, put yours in. You got KC and the Steelers up there at 1 and 2. Who's your 3, 4, and 5? Tua versus Kyler. The game was entertaining. I'm still trying to figure out, do I believe Tua's long-term? I'm still trying to figure that out. Like,
stats.
Kyler let us know right away. I'm feeling like Tua's having flashes. He's not having dominance, though, which I'm not saying he needs to have that to stay in the league. I'm just not yet to say this dude is I'm not yet to say that he's a star in the making. I'm ready to say he's had a couple good games. It looks like that team's playing with him and for him. So there's a leadership probably piece to that is showing on the football field. And he's definitely made some good throws. I'm not ready to call him a superstar yet, but that team looks to be better with him in the lineup, and they didn't drop off because Fitz was playing really, really well when they made that change at quarterback. So I feel like there's a chance that there's a possibility there that he could be a future star, but I'm not ready to pin the star on him yet.
Yeah, I don't know too. I mean, we put Arizona on a pedestal. You know, they do have defensive deficiencies. I want to say that this Miami Dolphins defense has showed up these last 2 weeks. I mean, they went absolutely bonkers last week. They had a defensive touchdown this week. And then Tua threw for over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. He hasn't thrown an interception yet. Seems like he's protecting the ball a lot better than Fitzy did. Maybe that's why he made that decision. Like you said, maybe Tua maybe he has more leadership than Ryan Fitzpatrick. Maybe he's more in tune with this generation's football player. You know, maybe he's more of a leader than maybe Fitzpatrick. That's kind of hard to say because it was like they were playing for Fitzpatrick too.
They're playing for him too.
So I don't know exactly what the coach saw, but I mean, we were expecting a dump off, but he kept right with it. I mean, Tua didn't have a great offensive game the first week. Had a great game the second week. Well, good game for a rookie playing the second game. But Kyler definitely –
I mean –
Kyler has the upper hand in this. Like, if we were doing a fantasy draft right now, I would take Kyler Murray because he's definitely a two-way quarterback.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think Kyler has been stronger, right? I think Kyler has – you can argue Kyler has won a couple games himself. So I think if you're going versus – right now, I go Kyler over him. I'm not ready. I'm not knocking to it. I'm not ready to decide who is he yet. Is he a star? Is he a game manager? I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think that's way too early. But I don't think nobody sees anything bad about Tua quite yet.
Flacco needs 88 passing yards to pass Joe Montana. Wow, who knew?
He'll never get him.
His top five, he's balling right now. He is having a good first quarter. Yeah, his top five is KC, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, New Orleans, Green Bay. Let's stop right there. I wasn't going to bring it up, but let's bring it back up. Kobe, Tampa Bay at 3? Tampa Bay at 3? Did you see that game last night? My argument about Tampa Bay all year is at first I didn't have them in my top 5 because they weren't consistent. They were ugly, then they started winning. Everybody's, let's jump on the bandwagon when they start winning. Then I brought them into my top 5 last week because I felt like, okay, we're starting to see some consistency. and then you go out and do that, and that wasn't a you're gonna have those. That was ugly. That was ugly. Brady looked too old. The defense, that was a fluke. How? That was a fluke if Cincinnati did that to them. That's a fluke if Washington did that to them. But you lost that game to your division rival. That was horrible. They are not the number 3 team in the league right now. They shouldn't even be in your top 5. I disagree.
Damn it, Kobe. I almost made it through the whole doggone show without him going off on Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I almost made it.
Just saying.
Listen, man, players up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it happens sometimes, It was just a bad game. It was just a bad game.
Okay. Cedric says, living down here, I thought he was overrated in school. So living down south, he thought Tua was overrated when he was at Alabama. Kobe's got Arizona as his number 6 team in the league. James says Tua is better than Stafford for sure. Golly. Playing in the NFL will show if he really has the juice. It will. And I think that's what we're waiting to see. Like, I'm not ready. I think, like you said, Dre, I think it's too early to tell. Kobe has Seattle at number 7. You should have Tampa Bay down there with you.
Listen, bro. Your list is all messed up, bro. You picking all these losers in here.
Leonardo, welcome to the show. Said Tua's still walking with a hitch in his walk, so I'm not sold on him right now either, but he can throw that ball. I agree with you there. Kobe said he dropped him from 2 to 3. They lost 38-3, Kobe. They were down, 30? They were down 28-0 at halftime. Kobe, you dropped them from 2 to 3. Oh, ouch. They'd be happy. You probably have a free pass to their practice this week. They'd love for you to come by and stop by and see them. If it was a dumpster fire, let me stop. He said, I laughed when I said it was a fluke. Exactly. All right. Leonardo points it out. They lost to the Saints twice. And the first time they lost to the Saints, it was closer, wasn't it?
No, it was still pretty bad.
Oh.
But that was the first game of the season, though. That was the first game of the season. They didn't know who they were.
Each other, right?
Yeah.
Okay, fair. This is
right now they both had the same. I think they're both 6-3, but the Saints,
3 or 6
the Saints obviously have the tiebreaker, beating them twice.
Yeah.
So,
huh? I said, bow. Shouldn't have lost to them.
Shouldn't have lost to them. Tua better than Stafford. You frowned on that. We don't like Matthew Stafford around here.
Right.
We thought Tua Tagovailoa would have done a better job.
Stating the obvious is what I'm saying. But if I recall, if we go back and play the tape from draft night, I think I was on board with the Tua draft pick, right? Because I think I felt like you bring him in and you actually let him sit behind Stafford, and then you put him in when it's time, kind of like Miami did with.
We would have been talking about Tua time right now. See, Stafford got COVID. Tua would have played.
Did he have it officially, or
he was around people that had COVID.
It's like
he didn't contract it. He didn't practice all week. Hopped a jet Sunday and got there and just played with no practice. That's why he played like hot garbage. They say. But if they would have had Tua, then it would have been like, oh, don't rush back. We got Tua, and Tua would have threw for 375 yards against that Minnesota defense, 6 touchdowns. And would have been praised as the next second coming of Joe Montana.
Then that would have been an overreaction, but that's okay.
All right, so let's do this. Let's do this quickly. Appreciate everybody in the stream. Make sure you share the stream. That's the best way to help us grow. And we need to grow more so we can get more people in the comment section. So we got more people to go back and forth with, more opinions. More salacious comments and things of that nature. So make sure you share the stream. And we're going to break down what week are we in now? Week 10.
Right?
Week 10.
Or is it week 9? Oh, week 10. Yeah, week 10 is coming up.
All right. First, all right. Do you got a crystal ball or not?
Crystal ball? No. They won't like my crystal ball. It'll be another Michigan crystal ball, so we'll stay away from it.
My crystal ball is New England gonna lose and Cam gonna lose his job.
My crystal ball is Michigan's going to lose to Wisconsin.
But you just said they was gonna win.
I don't believe that.
It took you an hour and 25 minutes to realize it, huh?
Yep. Tua's brother was slinging a rock for Maryland, so the Lions can get him. Well, that'll be after he beats Michigan in a couple weeks.
Is he a freshman? He's not draft eligible, is he?
No, I don't think so.
All right, Thursday night, Indianapolis at Tennessee.
Kobe's going crazy. Tennessee. I got Tennessee. That's actually going to be a nice AFC South battle. I think Indianapolis' run defense is going to show up to play, but I think Tennessee just edges them because of the Phillip Rivers factor.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers, hot garbage.
Kobe told me to make my mind up. All right, I'll flip flop one more time. Michigan wins. Leonardo said, "Oh, he sure was." Good point, Leonardo. Tua's little brother was down at Alabama. He transferred up to Maryland. So what does he got? One more year? Or is this his third? Because you got to have 3 years out of high school to get into the NFL. Is this his third year? 2A, young Tua to the Lions. Would you take it?
I'm just waiting for you to flip flop again.
Oh, okay, I'm not. Michigan's gonna win. I'm not.
You just said Wisconsin was gonna win.
I want to. I flip flop back one more time. Because Kobe said make up my mind. So I'm making it up. Michigan's gonna win.
But first you said Wisconsin was gonna win.
First I said Michigan's gonna win because Wisconsin is gonna be literally practicing for the first time on Friday and then playing Saturday. Then I just flip-flopped and said Wisconsin was going to win. And then Kobe said, make up your mind. So I'm flip-flopping back. I said, one more time, I'm flip-flop back.
Oh, God. Jesus, take the wheel. All right. Houston at Cleveland.
Cleveland! It's going to be tough. There's no – just dealing with – God, dog. We always got to play these teams that suck, but they don't really suck, but they suck.
They got a dub last week.
I know. But I like us coming off the bye, rested, hopefully healthy. I like Cleveland over Houston. Of course, everybody in the chat's going to hate on me.
Deshaun Watson goes crazy.
That is not my family, right? Kobe's already picking Houston. No, I'm going Cleveland. Deshaun Watson will have a good game, but I think Cleveland will still win the game.
Washington.
Baker's in the COVID quarantine right now.
Who?
Baker Mayfield.
He is.
Yeah, he was around someone as well.
Washington at Detroit.
Dumpster fire. The Lions should win this game.
Yeah, I love your jinxes. I love your.
That's not
I love your. Please, I love the word application when you talk about the Lions. You always say should. You never pick them to win. You said the Lions should win this. So then you set the expectation of them winning, but you deep down in your heart of hearts know that you would never pick them to win a football game.
That's not true. So let me
doing this with you forever. I know you.
But what I'm saying is the Lions are going to win this game. That's what I'm picking the Lions.
Believe that though.
It's Washington, man. Come on. It's Washington.
You're still doing it. You're still in the vein. Hey, I'm waiting for you to come out of it.
It's Washington.
Yeah, you're still in it.
The Lions should win this game. I'm picking the Lions.
You're still in it. I'm circling you with my mouse right now.
Are you picking the Lions?
No.
I'm picking the Lions.
I'm not picking the Lions. That pass rush is going to eat Matthew Stafford alive. Jacksonville at Green Bay.
Green Bay's going to roll.
Philadelphia at New York.
I want to trust Philly, but I don't trust Carson Wentz.
Who cares? I think Philadelphia try to give this game away every step of the way, but New York is like, nah, we don't want it. Like the last game. The last game they played, they was like, New York, please win. Please win. New York was like, nah, we don't want it. You go ahead and take it.
I'm going with the Giants. I don't trust Carson Wentz.
Tampa Bay at Carolina.
Tampa Bay.
I had to dust off Christian McCaffrey on you for one game. Now he got hurt again. That's like, come on.
He got hurt again?
He got shoulder injury now to talk about he day to day.
Oh,
He just had to give you a hot 20 ball real fast and then go back to be hurt.
I haven't even scored 100 points yet.
At all this season?
No, I have this season. I just have
Uh,
points in this week.
oh yeah, no.
It's horrible.
It's over. Yeah, Tampa Bay. Denver at Vegas.
Vegas.
I'm picking Vegas too, but Denver been scrappy. I'll give them that. They, last second comebacks. They almost came back against Atlanta this week. So I'll give Denver, some love there. But I expect Vegas to win. Chargers at Dolphins.
This is a tough one for me. Chargers have lost their last 2 games on the last play of the game.
Yep.
Herbert's balling.
Balling.
Tua's doing well. I'm going to go with Herbert balling over Tua doing well. I'm going to go Chargers.
I'm picking that Miami defense. Like this one, I got to pick the constant here. And right now, the Miami defense the last 2 weeks have been balling. So hopefully I'm right. Good game. Buffalo at Arizona.
Woo.
2 good young quarterbacks.
If there were fans in this game, I'd go Arizona, but I'm going to go Buffalo. You just got into my top 3, Buffalo. Don't disappoint. Just got into my top 3, Buffalo. Don't disappoint. Let's go. Buffalo.
The thing for Buffalo is they just beat Russell Wilson, right?
Right.
So technically, it's the same guy, right? Technically, it's the same team. Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, DK Metcalf, DeAndre Hopkins. It's the same kind of thing, right? So just apply that same scheme and apply it to Arizona, and you should win this game.
Gotcha.
Seattle at the Rams.
Seattle
needs this win.
Yes, they do, but Seattle. Rams aren't consistent enough for me, like I told you. My disappointing team.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't think they have the offense to keep up with Seattle anyway.
Well, then again, Seattle's defense has been making a lot of people look really, really good this year.
That is true. Start Cooper Kupp this week. San Francisco at New Orleans.
New Orleans. Infirmary unit in San Fran.
Yeah, they all banged up. Cincinnati at Pittsburgh. Trap game?
No, I think the Dallas game was the trap game. I think Pittsburgh wins this game because I think that pass rush is going to get to Burrow. He's going to throw for 300. They're going to score a little bit, but because I think he's that good, but I think Pittsburgh's just going to win the game because they're just a better team.
Man, I think Joe might show up.
Are you calling upset?
I'm calling upset here. I'm picking the Bengals.
All right.
I'm picking the Bengals. Baltimore at New England.
Baltimore.
Sunday night game.
Baltimore, easy.
Man, when they scheduled that, the schedule was like, guess what? Baltimore and New England. They was like, yeah, we like it.
Yeah.
10 weeks
Although,
later.
update from Gillette is Cam 7, the Jets 3. Cam Newton on his first drive, 4 for 4 for 55 yards and a rushing touchdown from 5 yards out.
It's the Jets.
Monday night.
I just close the thing.
While you're doing that, I'm going to read some comments. Let me go back. Kobe says Izzo got COVID. Cam completed a pass. Bill Deuce's dad 11 says, Dre, if the Lions lose, will this administration finish the season or will Sheila bring the hammer down?
Sheila don't know what the hell to do. Sheila is as blind as Martha Firestone Ford. Sheila Ford don't sound no better than Martha Firestone Ford. I have no faith in no
is that they will finish the season. This is dad 11. Just like Trump is trying to stay in the White House.
Yeah.
Too soon?
No.
Cedric says, there are games I picked the Lions to win and disappoint. Kobe picked Green Bay and Philly. Kobe's been running his picks along with us. He picked Tampa Bay. He said, your boy, what's his name from Carolina, played with his shoulder injury. He picked the Chargers. Yep. Be more. Lauren said Denver is a mash unit right now, and Cedric is questioning one of your picks with a really. I think he's saying really to that Cincinnati Pittsburgh.
Yeah, I gotta roll with it.
All
Things are recorded, so you gotta go with it.
right, Monday night.
Monday night, Minnesota at Chicago. Yeah, we gonna be
Minnesota.
we gonna be
Dalvin Cook's gonna go nuts again.
Minnesota, Chicago. No, neither one of these teams are making the top 5 anyway. So
No, I'm going Minnesota.
with the show Monday. I'm going Minnesota. Dalvin Cook has been stupid nuts.
Yep. I'm already setting my draft board for next year.
It's that time of year where you just go for 2021, man. I'm sorry, bro. I hate to be the one to push you over, but
I'm number one in the waiver wire every week. I always get the players I
want. Your whole bitch was on the bye this week. I'm like, dang, he had to play somebody,
Yeah, so that's cool.
I'm sorry, man. Well, you text me at what, 1:30, 2 o'clock?
Yeah. Not even the end of the second quarter or most of the first game.
It wasn't even an hour into football. Like, yeah, I'm not checking the score no more. I was half asleep watching Red Zone. Touchdown, Tyreek Hill. I'm like, yeah. Touchdown, DK Metcalf. Yeah. Touchdown, Christian McCaffrey. Yeah. Touchdown, Tyreek Hill. Yeah. It was a beautiful day. It was a perfect storm. I needed that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. So that's it. Garbage Fire. Yes, I was. 2021, we will do a live auction draft, and you can get Cook, J. Will. He wants you to pay for him. You want him? Pay for him. We shall Pittsburgh at home at night is impeccable. Prime time.
Oh, yeah. That's a good call. It's a 425 game right now. So, yeah, I don't see Pittsburgh losing that one, but that'll be a good call, though. Good call.
Joe Burrow need a statement game this year, bro. He has some great games. The Cleveland game they barely lost. Like, the toe tap out the side of the end zone that wasn't, the AJ Green push off. He need a statement win. Joe Burrow gets this statement win, bro.
They beat Tennessee though.
Yeah, but people ain't really on the Tennessee bandwagon. Like, if you beat the undefeated Pittsburgh Steelers, that's a statement win.
All right, let's see.
All right.
So they're coming off a bye. So we'll see. All
right. Well, we appreciate everybody listening, man. Make sure you follow us on all our modes of social media, the Facebook, Instagram. Make sure you follow us there so you can get all the updates about the show. Make sure you check us out on SoundCloud and the Purple Podcast app on your iPhone, as well as subscribing to us on YouTube. The best way to get a hold of us is YouTube. All you guys on Facebook right now listening on me and Joel's feed, go to YouTube right now and subscribe, man. Hook us up. And make sure you share so we can get more people in the comment section. So that way we know all the crazy commenters. We love when you guys go ham on the comment section. Imagine if it was even more people in there. So just help us out by sharing the feed and liking us on YouTube. This is how we pay the bills. So if you want to pay the bills, help us pay the bills, or just want to get a shout out, go to academysportshow@gmail.com. We will hit you back. If you just want to be a contributor to the show, if you have your own podcast, I just made that whole word up. You weren't gonna let me slide. You was not gonna let me slide
because it threw me off so much. I thought you were gonna correct it, and you kept going.
Yep, you let me. You just go point it out to the people. That's what you gotta do.
That was one that stood out.
Hey Tom, he meant to say contributor, but he said contributor. Back to you, Tom. Just go ahead and point that out. I appreciate it. Our sponsors here at Academy Sports Show is Mike Von Spelman. Von Spelman, both licensed and insured, provides top quality services at great prices. Whether it's just getting up the cold waterproofing the daily home services, we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
VonSpelman.com. Gives you a map of all the areas that they service as well as the services that they provide. But we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
Because that man right there is the real MVP.
We have a question from a listener. Is boxing a topic on here? We do talk boxing.
It could be if you throw it up in there.
We keep up with everything, so we.
I will try my best.
Yeah, definitely. Let us know specifically. Is there something you want us to talk about weekly in regards to the world of boxing, or if you just want us to comment on big fights coming up? We will be talking about the Tyson and what's his name fight.
Exactly.
Yeah, because when it's all said and done, it's gonna be what's his name. he might not know.
Roy Jones Jr. Listen, if you got a topic ahead of time, Monday 7:00 we in here Eastern Standard Time. DM us. You see the handles on the thing. DM us. Let us know what topics you want us to do ahead of time. That way we can either research or put it in the breakdown, create time for it, and we can do it properly. Or you can just pop it up on us. Let us, either way in the chat. But if it's something that you really want us to do our due diligence on, if it's a topic that we don't normally cover, if you just want to bust out and be like, hey, I want y'all to talk hockey, DM me and I will be ready for hockey talk. You understand me? So Just let me know.
Cody said
cancel it. It's still it's a couple weeks from now, ain't it?
Saturday, November 28th. It's happening. I heard that too. I heard that he canceled it too, but
he wanted to protect his heart.
Yeah, nah.
Lord, give me a sign.
Better cancel it. Have you seen those commercials? Oh God.
I saw the promo that they did on ESPN, and Roy Jones was just sitting there, and Mike Tyson, he was like, how you feel like the fight? He was like, I'm going to give it everything I got, and I'm going to absolutely destroy my opponent. So it was like,
no, there's a pay-per-view commercial out, and Mike Tyson looks scary, bro. Yeah, scary.
Like, this was supposed to be an exhibition, and Mike Tyson is like, I'm going to destroy my opponent.
Scary.
Because it was supposed to be, September? Then they postponed it to November. So
here's a picture of the belt.
No, give me a shot. Oh, they're doing it for Black Lives Matter belt. Tyson versus Jones. He put young Tyson on there.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
It's gonna be ugly.
Tyson 54, Jones 51. Jeez. Yeah. Throw in the towel. This is not a smart idea. Listen, Roy Jones thought this was gonna be for charity, but then he realized he's the charity.
This will be an 8-round exhibition with 2-minute rounds. The gloves will be larger than the standard regulation, but no headgear will be used.
The passion of Roy Jones Jr., ladies and gentlemen. He will be a meme for all memes at the end of this.
Oh, God. So, yes, my brother.
Listen, if you got money just to have money to lose, better than Roy Jones Jr. Because if he wins, you making bread.
Get some money, yeah.
If you got a hot $1,500 to lose, like I ain't gonna do nothing with this, go to Vegas and bet it on Roy Jones Jr. Hey, you're out of there, a rich man.
Yeah, you can go downtown. I think now go to the sports book and do it.
Oh, if I had some money to lose, Doug. If I had some money to lose.
So, we'll talk boxing, but we will talk. If you want us to holler at me, you know how to find me. Let me know. Give us a heads up. We'll bring it up on the show. We got you.
All right.
Let's get out of here.
All right. I appreciate you guys as always. Thank you very much. You're all too kind. And let's see if Seattle wins next week, huh, Lawrence?
Shade. We will see you guys next week. Monday, same time, same place, 7:00. Talk to you.